Creating content for your website. In this section, I'm going to cover the importance of content in SEO. I'm going to show you how you can come up with tons of content ideas for your website. I'm actually going to show you a few different strategies you can utilize, and I'm going to show you what you should avoid when creating content for your website as well. And lastly, I'm going to cover the importance of fresh content. So this is uploading fresh content to your website, such as a new blog post and so on and so on. So let's hop into this section. A great method you can utilize to come up with tons of new content ideas for your website is to review your competitors and see what they are writing about. This is a very simple but yet powerful method, as your competitors will already have done the heavy lifting for you. They would have done all the keyword research to find new keyword topics, things you can write about. You simply have to go over to the website, see what they wrote about, and simply cherry pick which ones you want to write about on your website. So if we put the yoga mat keywords to the side now and focus on another keyword such as wireless headphones, I'll show you exactly how we can find tons of content ideas for this keyword. So the first thing I need to do is find some websites I'm competing with, which is pretty straightforward. Just go over to Google, enter your keyword, and the websites you see on page 1 are essentially the websites you're competing with. So I've typed in wireless headphones. You've got some ads at the top of the page, so let's scroll down. See, we've got Curry's up there, we've got Tech Radar, we've got What Hi-Fi. So I've already opened these two websites in another tab, so let's just refresh. I've typed in wireless headphones. I'm now going over to our competitors' website to see what they are writing about. So if I go on Tech Radar, I actually went over to the search menu at the top and I simply just typed in headphones, as you can see here, search results for headphones. So if we scroll down, we can see we have tons of different articles we can write about. We have best noise cancelling headphones. We have best over-ear headphones. Best cheap headphones, your guide to the best budget headphones. Tons and tons of ideas. We've got best headphones 2020. Tons and tons of ideas. So as you can see, within a couple of seconds, I already have potentially 4 or 5 different articles I can all write about. It's even better if we look at another website. Let's look at what Hi-Fi has to offer. Again, I've simply gone onto the website, I've clicked search, and I've typed in headphones, as you can see here. Search results for headphones. I've got best AKG headphones. I've got best headphones on Amazon. Best B&O headphones. Best headphones for running, which is actually a really good keyword. Best wireless headphones. We've got best sport headphones. So tons and tons of ideas. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and sitting there and brainstorming for hours and hours, just checking out what your competitors are doing is actually a really smart and efficient way to find tons of ideas you can write about for your website. In the next video, I'm going to show you another strategy you can utilize to find tons of content ideas for your website. I'll see you there. Another strategy you can utilize to come up with content ideas is to use question-related keywords. So whatever industry you operate in, whether that's yoga mats, professional services, e-commerce, and so on, there are going to be tons of question-related searches which are all relevant to the product or services you offer. By using SEMRush, we can find out very easily exactly what these question-related searches are. So to give you a better idea of what I mean, let's look at a live example of this. So let's go over to SEMRush and search for one of our broad keywords. So I'll go for yoga mat and then click search. And once the information has loaded, we want to scroll down and look at the second box for keyword variations. If we look to the right hand side of keyword variations, we're going to have tons of keywords which are all related to questions. So these are all keywords which are related to what you search for, which for me was yoga mat. So some of the keyword questions we have is how to clean yoga mat, how to clean Lululemon yoga mat, how to wash yoga mats, where to buy yoga mats, and so on and so on. So these are all keyword searches which are related to questions. And the great thing about these keywords is that they all have their own monthly search volume. In total, there's over 3,000 different keyword questions we can use for the one keyword example I searched for, which was yoga mats. So let's go ahead and look at all of these keywords in a bit more detail. And as you can see, we have tons and tons of ideas. How long is a yoga mat? What is the best thickness for a yoga mat? What to use instead of a yoga mat? And so on and so on. So if we take one of these keywords and actually Google it, so how long is a yoga mat? Let's have a look at what Google shows us. 68 inches long, great. Let's keep on scrolling down. You can see the website in position 1 is what size yoga mat do I need? Let's discuss your options. So if we open this website and have a look at this type of content, you can see this is literally a blog post on this website talking about what size yoga mat do they need. Let's discuss your options. You scroll down through the content and we have the standard size for yoga mats. We have different lengths or various heights. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. we can literally use all of these keyword ideas to come up with tons of new content ideas for our website. And the great thing about using these keywords is that because they have their own monthly search volume, if we can rank these keywords on page 1, like this website has right here, we can actually start to generate some additional traffic and then even filter that traffic through to our main pages, which actually make us money. So the ones that maybe sell yoga mats. So let's actually go back to this website and see if they are indeed doing that, which it looks like they are. Buying your first yoga mat. If you check the URL in the bottom left hand side of the screen, one down here, which is just gone now. If you check it one more time, you can see it says best yoga mats. It's changing a little bit now because the page is still loading, but essentially you can see this article does indeed filter the traffic through to another page on the website. So this is a really simple but effective method you can use to come up with tons and tons of content generation ideas. I'll see you in the next video. Another great method you can utilize to come up with tons of content ideas for your website is to subscribe to industry related blogs. So this is a very good way, as essentially when you subscribe to an industry related blog, you're going to get an email every single day, maybe once a week, once a month. It all depends on your frequency, but these emails are going to contain tons of content ideas you can then use for your website. Finding these industry related blogs is actually very, very simple. So let's imagine you're in the gaming industry and you write about maybe gaming headphones, gaming chairs. You simply want to go over to Google and just type in best 100 gaming blogs. You're going to come across a website called feedspot.com. Simply give that an open and you'll see it will literally list out the top 100 video game blogs out there. You can literally scroll through them, put in your email and subscribe all from one page. It's very, very handy and it makes the process very, very easy for you. You can also do this for multiple other industries as well. It's not just gaming. It literally applies to any industry out there. For example, if you're in the fitness industry, just go back to Google and change your keyword for best 100 gaming blogs to best 100 fitness blogs. And as you see, we've got blog.feedspot in number 1. Give that a click. And again, you're going to see 100 fitness blogs that you can subscribe to and get tons of content ideas. A lot of people do like this idea as it's pretty hands off. You can literally just put your email address in, sit back, and you're going to get an email every now and then giving you content ideas with minimal effort. So it all comes down to preference really and picking the strategy which you think is most suited for you. I'll see you in the next video. One thing you want to be wary of when you're producing content for your website is you want to avoid having a massive wall of text. The reason being, as you'll see from this example below, we have the image on the left, which is just copy and paste all of the text. As a result, it's a massive wall of text. An example of the right, they've actually taken the text and they've added like a heading there, another subheading. They formatted it, they've added some bullet points. They've got another heading, they've got an image, the image at the top. So you can see it's so much easier to view on the eye. And as a result, if I was to land on both of these websites, I am way much more likely to read the website on the right. If I actually landed on this example on the left, what I would do, I would actually go back to Google and find a different website because there's no way I would sit through here and read all of this, even though it's the same amount of information on the example on the right. Just visually, it looks way more intimidating and tedious to read. So it's very important you get this right because there's actually a metric Google uses in the algorithm. It's called dwell time. So essentially, the longer the person spends on your website, it's actually a good indication to Google that what you have on your website is good. So if you have a good dwell time number, what actually happens is Google puts your site higher up in Google. However, if you have a low dwell time, so people come on your site and they're bouncing straight back to Google and they're not spending a lot of time on that page, what happens is a clear signal to Google that, hey, this site isn't actually satisfying the user, which obviously Google's algorithm is all about, giving the user what they want to see. It's a sign to Google it's not good, so as a result, it will put your site further back on Google, so page 2, 3, 4, and even further depending how bad the dwell time is. So make sure you put a lot of effort into formatting your content correctly, getting the structure done, bullet points, images, and just make it engaging for someone to read. The importance of fresh content. Google's job is to serve up the best search results for people who are looking for information. Google wants the content that it serves up to be fresh and up to date, and that is typically the best type of content out there. There's actually a fresh content algorithm, and by adding it to your site, you can take advantage of it. I've tested it multiple times, and what I'm about to share is what I call the bare minimum. At least once per month, you need to increase the size of your website by at least one page. You can easily do this by adding a new blog post to your site once a month, for example. And by adding a new blog post to your site once a month, you are clearly demonstrating to Google that you care about your website whilst also satisfying the fresh content algorithm. One of the worst things you can do is create a website and then neglect it. This is actually what so many people do and plays a big factor in why so many people do not succeed online. We want to avoid neglecting our sites, and by publishing at least one piece of content a month, we're going in the right direction. Coming up with tons of blog ideas you can publish every month is really easy, as you would have saw already from my last few videos in this section of the course. You can also consider updating existing content once a month as well, as this is also a clear signal to Google that once again you care about your content, and out of your competition, your content is the most freshest and up to date, which is a win-win. And just to clarify as well, when I say updating existing content, what I'm referring to is things such as adding a new sentence, removing a sentence, changing a picture, adding a video, for example. This is more than enough. And as I've already said, I've tested this multiple times already, and I haven't seen any additional benefit of adding maybe a whole paragraph or 2 paragraphs, for example. As long as you're updating your content and satisfying the fresh content segment of the algorithm, you're making Google happy. You're also letting Google know that your content is the freshest and the most up-to-date out there. How long should your content be? I get asked this question quite often. Some people seem to think all content should be 500 words, some think 1,000, some even think 5,000 words. However, my response is always the same. Don't guess. Instead of guessing, base it on what we know is already working. And what I mean by that is, if we look at page 1 for the keywords you want to target, look at the websites already on page 1 and see how many words they're using, that is a much better way to go about it. I actually have a 2-step process for this. Step 1 is work out the average of the top 3 websites. And then step 2 is plus 10% contingency, just so we know what there are abouts. This works really well for me and has never let me down. Essentially what we're doing here is we're mimicking what is already working. If the top 3 websites on page 1 roughly have 1,500 words, then you want to follow suit and also have 1,500 words. However, adding another 10% just ensures you're better than them. However, don't just add another 10% of words for the sake of it. You need to make sure your content is actually worth it and provides value. So instead of just giving you this information, I always like to go one step further. So we're going to head over to Google now, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works with a live walkthrough. So let's imagine the keyword you want to be on page 1 for is, do you need a yoga mat? What I'd simply do is go over to Google and Google that keyword. So, do you need a yoga mat? Then I'll take the top 3 websites in position 1, which I've already done. So I've got Yoga International, exercise.co.uk and Livestrong. So I've opened all of those websites in a new tab you can see here already. And simply what I would do, I would get another tab open for this website called wordcounter.net. And I'll simply go on each website and copy all of the words and then paste it on WordCounter. So let's do that right now. So copy this and then paste that onto WordCounter. So that's the first website done, that can go. Second website, let's copy all of the content. Seems a little bit longer than the first one. Let's copy that. And we'll paste that into WordCounter right at the bottom as well. Now we're done with the second website. Let's look at the third website. Let's copy all of this content. Oh, not sure what happened there. Let's take all that down. Seems to be a lot. Like so. Seems to be pretty equivalent, to be honest with you. We'll paste that in there. Scroll to the top. And as you can see, we have 2,905 words across 3 different websites. So simply what I would do, I would go to an online calculator, type in 2905, divide that by 3 as we checked 3 websites. That would give me an average of 968 words. So again, that is the average. What I recommend you actually add another 10%. So that would be, it's literally another 96. So plus 96. Which gives us a total of 1,064 words. Again, you don't need to work exactly to 1,064, but if this was me creating the content, then I would make sure my content is around the 1,000 word mark, as that way I know I'm going to fit in with what the other websites on page 1 are doing. Hi, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what an internal link is and show you how you can set up an internal link on your website. So firstly, what is an internal link? An internal link is simply a link from one of your pages that links to another one of your pages. The link has to be from one page to another, which are both on your website, hence the name internal. Internal links are great for increasing the relevancy of a page, and relevancy is a massive on-page SEO ranking factor. As essentially, to rank high on Google for a keyword, we need to convince Google that our page is relevant to what that person typed in. So if you have a page on your website that is about yoga mats, for example, then you need to convince Google that your page is indeed about yoga mats. If you do this correctly, then you're much more likely to rank for that keyword. Here's a visual representation showing you exactly how internal links work. So as you can see from my lovely diagram that I made, we have two pages on a website. The page on the left is a page about yoga mats. The page on the right is a page about yoga bags. So things you put your yoga mat in when you want to carry it around. As you can see on the yoga mat page, it has some content at the top, and then towards the bottom of the page, it says, check out our yoga bags to go with your yoga mat. If you look closely, you'll see that the word yoga bags is actually an internal link, which links to another page on our site, which just happens to be a page about our yoga bags. In the example I've just shown, we've now pushed more relevancy to our yoga bags page, as we now have an internal link pointing to our page with the clickable text saying yoga bags. The correct terminology for the clickable text is actually called anchor text. However, don't worry about that for now, as I'm going to go into that in a lot more depth in the next section of this course. However, internal links is a very simple but effective strategy you can utilize to help push more relevancy to the pages that you want to rank. The more internal links you build, the better. However, you must keep them relevant and consistent. For example, don't go out there and link to another page which has absolutely zero relevance to do with what you're talking about, as that just confuses Google and can potentially hinder the rankings of both your pages. On top of this, internal links also help the link juice flow better through a website. So I'm going to get more into backlinks and link juice later on in the backlinks section of the course. However, what you need to know now is as a website gets more backlinks and more authority, this website is going to have a lot of backlink juice. Typically, out of every page you have on your website, your homepage will have the most amount of backlinks pointing to it. As a result, that homepage is going to have tons of link juice. We can actually sculpture that link juice and transfer it to other pages on our website by using internal links. The benefit of doing this is that we can now rank our other pages on our website, such as page 1, 2, and 3, with less backlinks pointing to them as we have internal links pointing to them. So as a result, all that authority and all the power our homepage has is now getting transferred to our inner pages on our website, which means when it comes to doing SEO on our inner pages, such as page 1, 2, and 3, as you can see